what's happening is the Israelis or Israelites or whatever the fuck they're called, they are congregating in Cape Town, right? They are buying land in Cape Town right now as we speak. Please go Google, on actual Google, it's there. And then go look at the videos on TikTok, it's also there. They are and a little birdie told me, actually one of the comments in the other video told me that actually it's not one of the comments, it's a few comments that said that, right? And at different times. So they were saying that apparently one of the ministers from that godforsaken country said that Africa is the promised land and that they're gonna come and do as they please because it's the promised land. I'm gonna need us South Africans to stand the fuck up and stop fighting each other and stop fighting other Africans and start fighting together. The common enemy, which is the people that colonized us. Are you listening to me? Let's stop tribalism, stop xenophobia. Nina's febe is xenophobic. Yes, Nina's febe. And you also people that are tribalist. And I made a video about this a few weeks ago about tribalism. And actually, I won't even get into that because the people of the tribe will come in and they will even ignore this video and start. Guys, we need to stand the fuck up.
What the hell is going on in South Africa? South Africa is about to lose Cape Town to a stranger. Lately, I don't like discussing about South Africa because every African country have their own issue. But do you know the African country Europeans are using to distract the rest of the African countries? Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, and Kenya. Those are the major countries the Europeans, the West are using against African as a whole. Now, the problem going on in South Africa right now is if you don't mind your business when you are supposed to mind it, you keep on prognosing on other people's affairs, you get into trouble unknowingly to you. When you are busy fighting somebody that is not your enemy, your real enemy will behind the scene and be taking over your properties unknowingly to you. That's what is happening in South Africa right now. It has happened in Nigeria. When we Nigerians, we are supposed to busy focusing on our own problem. We are busy fighting South Africa. As we are busy fighting South Africa, which are not our enemy, the real enemy enter into Nigeria and start taking our land and start massacring our people unknowingly to Nigeria. The whole issue have escalated in Nigeria and is out of control as it stands, especially in my state. Now at a point, I do that rubbish too, and I said to myself, me doing this, I'm really distracting my other African brothers and sisters from seeing the real truth and reality of what is happening in their country. Now Cape Town want to be taken from the hands of black South Africans. Despite these guys are among BRICS, South Africa want to lose Cape Town to Israel, and it's gradually happening. This plan of taking Cape Town is not today. That plan have been there since the time the black South Africans are supposed to sit down and focus on their own problem. They are busy fighting us, bantering Nigeria, that we have our own problem. And the time that Nigerians are supposed to focus on the problem, insecurity of all of that is going on in their country now, they are busy fighting South Africa. You know, and I tell people all the time, we Africans are the most dumbest people, dumbest continent, dumbest people on the planet Earth. But a lot of you will say we are smart. We are not smart. The white are smarter than us, whether you like it or not. Because when you have majority of people that are not smart among you, and the other party have majority of people that are smart, and you that you are smart, and you have majority people that are not smart among you, you that you are smart, you are not smart. That is why you come on internet, you will never see a white man fighting or bantering themselves on social media. But the people you always see bantering themselves are African. If not South African fighting against Nigeria, Nigeria will be fighting against Kenya. If not Kenya, Kenya will be fighting against Ghana. If not Ghana, Cameroon. You know, those are the distraction these white people have been pushing to us, and will be falling for this trick for long. So South African, even your BRICS cannot save you. Look at Ukraine, that is not among BRICS. Look at Palestine, that is not among BRICS. Look at Israel, that is not among BRICS. See how they are taking their issue serious. Now you that you are among BRICS, nobody care about you because you're a black man. So you are about to lose Cape Town to stranger because the time you are supposed to use in protecting Cape Town, you are busy fighting Nigerians. I know a lot of you will not like this truth I'm saying, but I don't want to involve myself in your problem anymore, because we Nigerians, we have a bigger problem. We have problem in our country. That is why recently you see me not discussing about South Africa, because South Africans have their own problem. We Nigerians have our own problem. Kenya have their own problem. Ghana have their own problem. So individually, let's start fixing our problem than fighting ourselves all the time. That is my advice to South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and the rest of African countries. But I will not lie about this. One thing I like South African that they do is anytime issue like this arises, they protest. A lot of protests have been going on since this issue happened. My African brothers and sisters, so let's learn to be focused. And one thing you should know is most of our leaders are not indigenous from that country. Take it or leave it. They are trained to come and oppress us. So a lot of you crying Ramaphosa, this and that, he cannot do anything because he's a puppet. Anyway, share your thoughts on the comment section responsibly, and for those that love to cry, cry responsibly on the comment section. Thank you.
If you think you can just come and grab Africa for yourself, then you are mistaken. Africa is not for grabs. The land of Africa belongs to African peoples. This goes to the illegal settlers, like what is happening in Cape Town right now. Israel is inhabiting Cape Town. They are taking over Cape Town. They are claiming that they are buying off land. African land belongs to Africa. We don't know no illegal, we don't know no white settlers in Africa. Your time is up. It's time to pack your bags and leave. Africa is uniting. You will not like it, but if you continue doing what you are doing in South Africa, we will have to march. We will have to march as a whole Africa. We will have to come and solve that issue in South Africa ourselves. We will not sit down and see you gun down innocent people, chase them out of their land, evict black people out of their land. What do you mean by a chosen people? There is no chosen people. You Israelites, you are mistaken. You white people, you are mistaken. No chosen people here, man. You come to kill us and then you tell us you're the chosen people. What do you mean? If that is what is happening in Cape Town, then we are ready for you. Africa has never known no easy way. We don't know the easy way. We know the hard way. So better know that we are prepared for you, and we will not live on our knees anymore. Yeah. That is it. We are ready to protect our motherlands. If it takes our lives, so be it. There is no other great honor than that. So no, we are prepared for you. You just come.
Bring them home. Surrender. And all these atrocities will be over. It breaks any human's heart, if you're a reasonable human, to see this unnecessary death. The death of innocent people, children, women. We feel for it. Bring them home. Don't distort the history. The evidence of historical and biblical, archaeological existence of the Jewish people, Israelis, it's there. Don't give us a lecture on history. Please do not. A population of 17 million people has produced 246 Nobel Prizes, which includes arts, culture, history. 7th of October, you've ignored it, you have forgotten, you're trying to pretend it never existed, and you talk about some sort of history, it all happened before the 7th of October. You attempted, or some, to deny the Holocaust. And now we have evidence, social media evidence, photography of atrocities of October the 7th, slaughtering innocent people, decapitating babies' heads, putting them in ovens, raping old women. How do you even do that? How do you get excited? Just guys, don't distort the history. We all want to put this war to an end. It is hurting the world. It's dividing the world. Surrender. Give back our hostages, but do not deny the history. Your talk and rhetoric of river to the sea is talking about 8 million people walking away from the Holy Land. Never gonna happen. Never gonna.
The non-profit organization wants all black people from the Eastern Cape to leave the Western Cape.
Do you know Cape Town was not always South Africa? The land itself has passed through many hands, and its story is not simple. To understand Orania today, we must go back to the beginning. When the first Europeans arrived at the Cape of Good Hope in 1652, they were not coming to build a nation, but to set up a halfway station for ships of the Dutch East India Company. The Khoikhoi and the San were the first people there, living off the land and the sea. But little by little, the Dutch settlers, later called Afrikaners or Boers, began to expand. They farmed, they built homesteads, and soon the land of the Khoikhoi became the land of the settlers. By the 1800s, Britain had also taken interest in the Cape. Wars were fought, not only between Europeans and Africans, but between the Dutch-speaking Afrikaners and the British Crown. These Afrikaners, seeking independence, marched inland in what history calls the Great Trek, founding the Orange Free State and the Transvaal Republic. For them, the idea of self-rule on land they considered bought or conquered became central to their identity. Then came the discovery of diamonds in Kimberley and gold in Johannesburg. Wealth transformed the region, and the British tightened their grip. Two brutal Anglo-Boer wars were fought. By 1910, the Union of South Africa was created, uniting British colonies and Boer republics, but at the expense of the indigenous African majority. The Afrikaner story, however, did not end there. By 1948, the National Party, built on Afrikaner nationalism, came to power. They built apartheid, a system of racial segregation that forced black South Africans into homelands, denied them citizenship, and reserved the best land, cities, and opportunities for whites. But the world did not remain silent. Liberation movements rose. The ANC, the Pan-Africanist Congress, Nigeria as a giant then, trade unions, student groups, sanctions, protests, and armed struggle weakened the apartheid regime. By 1990, Nelson Mandela was freed and apartheid's laws were dismantled. It was in this moment of great change that Orania was born. In 1991, a group of Afrikaners led by Karel Boshoff, the son-in-law of Hendrik Verwoerd, one of apartheid's chief architects, purchased a small, abandoned settlement on the banks of the Orange River. Their vision was not to fight the new South Africa with guns, but to retreat and build a community where Afrikaner culture, language, and identity would survive intact. In Orania, only Afrikaners are allowed to live. They control their land privately, they run their own schools, their own farms, even their own currency called the Ora. Black South Africans are not permitted to settle there or even to be hired for work. Every job, from farming to cleaning, is done by the Afrikaners themselves. To many South Africans, this is shocking. How can a community legally exclude others in a democratic South Africa? Yet the truth is, Orania is not illegal. Because the land is privately owned, its rules fall within the rights of association. Even Nelson Mandela visited Orania in 1995, meeting with Betsy Verwoerd, widow of Hendrik Verwoerd, and choosing reconciliation over confrontation. Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma, and Cyril Ramaphosa have all been asked about Orania, but none have moved to shut it down. For the government, Orania is tolerated as long as it does not demand secession or break national law. Meanwhile, Orania has grown. From only a few hundred residents in the early 1990s, today it has thousands. They farm the land, build solar projects, run schools, and invite more Afrikaners to join. For them, it is a project of survival, a belief that in the broader South Africa, their language and culture might disappear. For others, it is seen as a continuation of apartheid thinking, a refusal to live in a diverse nation. Cape Town, the Western Cape, and the idea of secession connect to this. Movements like the Cape Independence Advocacy Group argue that the Western Cape should break away, forming its own country. They claim cultural and economic reasons, but the Constitution of South Africa does not allow any province to secede. In truth, no matter how loud the call, Orania and Cape secessionist groups remain under the authority of the South African state. Still, the existence of Orania tells us something deeper about South Africa's history. It shows how land, power, and identity are never simple. The Afrikaners came as settlers, fought to keep their independence, built apartheid, lost political power, but then built Orania as a small corner where their dream still lives. Whether one agrees with it or not, Orania is both a reminder of South Africa's past and a question about its future. Can a country born out of division truly be one nation? Or will enclaves and movements like Orania remain as signs that old wounds have not yet healed? As the proverb says, a scar may fade, but it never disappears. It reminds the body of the wound it once carried. Orania is such a scar, a living reminder of history and a challenge for the South Africa of tomorrow.
This is quite shocking. I think South Africa has lost it at this point. So the white South Africans are now demanding for their own country inside South Africa. I mean, I never expected this, but at this point, South Africans, I don't even know what to say. Now, I want you to listen to this.
Because what we're looking to create in the Western Cape is an ideological homeland for people who think like us, people who have broadly Western values, who want to live in the first world, and you know, want to and I've often used the example, the Western Cape becomes almost like Israel for the Jews, if I can.
Come on. Did you just listen to that? Cape independent. This one is not even Orania, because I can remember Orania, there is a town in South Africa where black is not allowed. And now we have Cape independent. That means it's different. That means it's going to be like 3 countries inside one. You are saying that you guys don't have the same understanding. You guys doesn't have the same culture. You are in someone's like, God, goodness, let me know. You carry yourself to South Africa, and you are now saying that you guys don't have the same culture. How are you going to have the same culture? It is South Africa. You are not originally from the place, but now you are demanding for them to have the same culture with you. Otherwise, you will separate or divide the country. Man, South Africa, I don't know, but I will leave you guys to this, because at this point, I've given up.